What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got a quick one for you. There's just this article that I wanted to read to you guys. It's a short one from Dolphin Nation, and they discuss a topic that is an important one. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, the headline report: Xavien Howard could ask for trade if Miami Dolphins don't negotiate a new deal with him. Now, before I get into the details of this article, let's remember that he just signed a new 5-year deal, 2 years ago? I believe it was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And which obviously at the time made him the highest paid corner in the league. He has, I believe, we'll get to this, 6th now highest paid corner, even behind Byron Jones, obviously on the team. Anyway, but at the time when they signed him to that contract, I told you that I loved the fact that they signed him to a new contract and paid him the kind of money that he deserves. The problem I had with it at the time was that they very heavily front-loaded the contract, gave him pretty much all the guarantees up front, and also made the contract tradable, right? So trade-friendly for other teams that would be trying to acquire him. And so, that was a concern. Now there are rumors that, maybe he will fucking ask for a trade and possibly even play hardball with the Dolphins if they don't. So let's get into this and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. A new report indicates that Miami Dolphins cornerback Xavien Howard could ask to be traded if the team chooses not to renegotiate his current contract, which I would say is has a high probability. There we go. I would say that it's pretty unlikely that they're going to renegotiate his contract right now. One, because they just gave him one like 2 years ago. It is true that he did have a phenomenal year this year, but they did just give him a new contract. Not to mention last offseason, they blew through the amount of fucking cap space that they did have, and have set themselves up to actually be in, have some issues with the cap sooner rather than later, especially considering the cap is actually going to go down because of COVID, right? So, and they're going to have, a new rookie class coming up soon. They're going to have to, pay some people in free agency. If they decided to, trade for Deshaun Watson and bring him in, that contract would be fucking exorbitant and they would have to absorb it, and that would be hard to do. If they also then got rid of Xavien Howard, that could offset that a bit, but that would also obviously be terrible for the team overall because he's a superstar, pretty much the only one you have aside from maybe Jason Sanders, who they just signed to a 5-year deal, which is good. But pretty much the only one you got. You don't want to lose that. He's definitely a cornerstone of the team, and your defense was, your shining star of the season, right? And of the team overall, even though they still have a lot of work to do, right? And again, I'm still, even though it did happen to work out in the context of this season, I'm still not convinced that the high-priced free agents that they signed in the offseason, last offseason, the Kyle Van Noys and the fucking Eric Flowers and the, whatevers, right? The Landon Roberts. I'm not really sure that those guys are going to work out in the long run. Or the Byron Joneses, right? So we'll see, man. We'll see how this goes. But this situation, unfortunately, has probably more scenarios that could end up a problem for the Dolphins than scenarios that can end up good for the Dolphins. Because if they're almost in a no-win situation. If they get rid of him, that's, that very drastically hurts the team. Even if they are, able to get a first-round pick for him or even multiple first-round picks for him, which they likely could do should they trade him. Especially considering the fact that they haven't proven to be very good at being able to evaluate talent and use those picks properly. So that could be a huge issue. It could also be an issue if they do decide to give him another, top cornerback contract even though I do think he deserves it, we just don't have the cap space for it, and we're not likely to. But this thing could get ugly. Anyway, Kevin Nogle of SB Nation offered that scenario and indicated that the developing situation has the potential to get ugly between Howard and the Dolphins. Here's what he said. Howard is thought to be willing to ask for a trade should the Dolphins not come to the negotiating table. Nogle wrote, the Dolphins are believed to have no interest in trading one of the cornerstones for their defense in the franchise's rebuild. Would Howard make it ugly for Miami if there is no new contract coming this offseason? In 2019, Howard signed a lucrative... Oh, sorry, excuse me, it was 2019. It was just last year. That makes more sense. But... you know, even more so to the point about why they're less likely to do it, because they literally just gave him one last offseason, right? Howard signed a lucrative 5-year contract extension with the Dolphins worth $75.25 million that was designed to keep him with the team through the 2024 season. The 27-year-old endured an injury-plagued 2019 campaign that limited him to just 5 games, but bounced back with an outstanding 2020 effort. During the Dolphins' 10-6 season, Howard led the NFL in both interceptions with 10 and passes defended with 20. However, in the 2 years since signing his extension, Howard has dropped from being the league's highest paid cornerback to the sixth spot in that category. His current salary also ranks behind fellow Dolphins cornerback Byron Jones. And that's another reason why I told you guys that contract that they gave to Byron Jones was stupid, because he doesn't deserve the kind of money that he got, because he doesn't have the kind of ball skills that, let's say, Xavien Howard does. And Xavien Howard just led the league with 10 interceptions, 20 passes defense. He was the first player to have 10 interceptions in a season since like early 2000s or something like that, right? Or maybe like early 2010s. It might have been like 2013. Either way, in a long while, right? And then, you know, Xavien Howard's probably going to be like, look, no offense, Byron, but look at this dude. You know, he might be able to fucking lock down some people. He might be able to get some passes defense, but the dude ain't got no fucking ball skills. And he's making more money than me? Like, are you kidding me? No, I want a big-ass fucking contract, which could be a problem for the Dolphins, because they can't afford that kind of contract for him, nor can they afford to lose him, but they could be stuck in a lose-lose situation because of this, and because of the contract they gave Byron Jones. So, anyway, it's definitely has a lot of potential for problems. Anyway, continuing on to finish, the Dolphins' apparent reluctance in renegotiating Howard's deal is likely based on concerns about the salary cap and also avoiding the prospect of other signed Dolphins asking for new deals. I'm telling you, man, and I told you with the way that they blew through their cap space last offseason, I told you guys they are going to have cap problems. And sooner rather than later, which they are very rapidly fucking coming up on, especially considering COVID is going to guarantee that for the next few seasons, the salary cap is decreased. So I'm telling you, man, I've been telling you guys this. Nobody wants to listen, but okay, here we are. We're really fucking coming up on it. Now let's see how they handle this offseason and, you know, the draft and so on and so forth. Anyway, let's see. While no current trade talks are likely to commence, the situation could conceivably become an issue that can cause havoc with the 2021 Dolphins. That's something that the team and especially head coach Brian Flores wants to avoid. Yeah, they want to avoid it. Sure, they're going to talk about how they want to avoid it. They're going to talk about how they love Xavien Howard and they want him there and they want to be, you know, whatever, fucking, they want him to be part of their future and all this other shit, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're going to say all the same fucking politically correct shit, or, you know, whatever, the coach speak, the fucking, you know, very vague fucking no answer and an answer kind of shit. You know, they're going to do that, and then they're going to fucking fuck it all up somehow, some fucking way. That's my perspective, but that's based off of their, you know, their already actions. And I'm telling you, man, this cap space thing is going to fucking bite them in the ass sooner rather than later. Alright, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to get that out to you quick. So I hope you guys appreciate my perspectives. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.